Hi, Jason. You should be good to go now if you want to start. I believe you have the ability to share your screen if that's need be, but thank you so much for hosting at our event. We really appreciate it.
Hey, Brandon. Hi, how are you? Cool. Okay. Yeah, let me share my screen.
Sounds good.
Mm. Cool. Can you guys see the screen? I think it should be fine. Bigger. Cool. Awesome. Hello everyone. Welcome to the start our career as UX UI designer workshop. My name is Jason. I'm a product designer at PayPal. I would love to show you more about like the knowledge about UX UI design. Let's get started a little bit about me. So as I mentioned, I'm a product designer. I also mentor in the local UXPA mentorship programs. I also write about ADP list. So I'm really passionate about UX UI design and digital experience. So I also love to cook. People call me a chef. So today I'm going to talk about basically what is UI UX and why do we design, what is the common terms for UI UX design and what tool we use. I'm mainly focused on talk a little bit the intro to Figma and some UI mistakes and the tips for the potentially the hackathon you guys participate. Yeah. So what is the UI UX? So you definitely heard this term before, right? Use UI means like user interface. It's about like the elements and all the virtual stuff you see through a website, through the interface, nobody's mobile website, and also other panels as well. It's basically you can think about just like a virtual element, like a button, text, interactions. So user experience stand for like UX. So it's like consisting of user interaction with the products. So it's basically is how you actually feel about products, how you actually interact with different user interface or UI elements. So like summary here's UX basically means like how you feel about products, and UI means what you see and what you do. So it's a single elements, can be a text button or any other visual elements in a user interface. So actually the UX design term is found by Dor Norman in 1995. I really like the Steve Jobs said, right? The design is not just what it looks like, but it's feel like design is how it works. This is part of like what Apple does. They always care about the user experience. They focus more on how you interact with the products. So I would like to show you a real life example. So think about this like the ketchup bottle, right? So you definitely see this a lot in the grocery store. On the left, the bottle design is really nice. It's glass, but it's really hard to get off the ketchup. So can be represented like the UI, right? The UX means like actually how you actually interact with the products. So compared to the one just the glass of bottle, the red one may not look really nice, but it's actually help you easy to get the ketchup out. So why do we design? Basically simply just like we want to make the things better, right? We want to make an interface better. We want to make a website. We want to make a product better. On the right is example like a parking time. Basically show a user whether they can park in this area. So basically 4 step for design, right? When we have problems, we always consider how we actually solve the problems. So the first thing is as the UX designer, UX research, we always think about what is not working for our products, right? We want to find the user pain point. We want to do more research. Step 2 is basically to understand the problems, right? Use all the research methodology, interview surveys to construct problems together. And number three, explore the potential solution. This can be a low fidelity prototype, wireframing to present to stakeholders. And number four is basically, you make final decision for your design, right? Using the example that I showed for the parking time. So on the right, you can see, basically driver have no idea, right? If they can park over here, if you miss park, if you miss the time, if you misread the time, you may get like a really high parking tickets. So number two, basically we want to find what is the problems. Basically, from the research, we can tell that driver only want to know like, can I park here and how long can I park here? And when we know the problems, we will be easy to design the solutions. So here is a different kind of solution, designer design, right? Is showing you the better way, use the colors and use the, the kind of a linear timeline to show how, how the user experience can impact the products. So it's make people easy to read and easy to understand the time. But still, right, we think we design a solution, we also have a lot of things to think about it, right? For this, for example, for this design, the designer may not be considered like accessibility, right? The colorblind users, that's also part of like whole, user research process. Finally, we decided which is best fit for the goal, right? We compared our solution, we talk about solution, we present this to the stakeholder with different designer, different teams, and then we make a decision, and then we basically conclude the redesign process. So UX design is about solving a problem with empathy, right? We mean solving a problem, we always need to be empathy to understand what is the end-to-end user experience and what is the pinpoint the user facing right now. And yeah, exactly like what I said, UX design is is commitment to building a product with customer in mind. So when we design our products, when we build our products, we always have to be in mind like what is actually customer want. Sometimes you are not a customer, you're designing for the actually user that are using the products. So you have to be mindful for that. Great products are very useful, and beautiful. So when we care about user experience, we definitely want to design a good experience, but in the meantime, we want to make sure the products looks beautiful, looks nice, and can attract people to use. So next, I want to go over some most used design term. First, I think you may all heard about the workframe. Workframe is initial process, right, to design a layout creation. Basically, we start with the basic, the elements, and we start with the workframing to understand the end-to-end user experience. We always, create a workframe based on the user journey map, based on the information architecture. Is help us understand the potential high-fidelity design and potential user problems. For the mockup, is basically you can think about as a low fidelity prototype. Is basically just like the version that not being developed yet, right? It's basically just like the Figma file design, XD or Photoshop is showing like actually how the screen, how the products actually look, but you cannot be able to actually interact with or actually use the products. Sometimes we always making a prototype, right? Prototype can be like a virtual element. You put all the virtual elements together, you make an interaction design to show the potential user experience that actually user may potentially use this app and how their interaction will be look like. Sometimes we also create a style guide. So style guide means like all the virtual elements you put all together. Like for example, you're designing a website, you're also designing for an app. So you want to create a style guide to get the designer, to get the product or engineer team to know when and how they should use the color, font, and text. So we can see like the virtual element can be like, one single layout, one single system, or great, but design system and system guide is more like, you put all together. So talk about design system, the difference between the design system and style guide basically is design system is not only showing you design elements, but also showing you how you actually use the design how you use the elements. It will be listing a different kind of rule to get design, to get engineer to how to implement the products. User-based testing. This term means like you basically when you have a design, when you have a high fidelity prototype, low fidelity prototype, you actually want to test to see right whether this design or this interaction actually solve the pain point that you should suffer. You trying to get any feedback from the team to improve the products. So this is basically how you always need to conduct this testing before you hand over to the QA or engineer part to make sure the product you are designing for actually solving the problems. So there's actually different kind of type of role in the UX UI industry. Right now, today you may hear about a lot of word like user interface design, virtual design, prototyping, graphic design. But actually, UX is kind of involved all of this, right? All the stuff is actually can be considered as a design, like a UI UX designer. So, for example, graphic design, sometimes you have to design a logo, sometimes you have to design a branding part. That's also part of like the strategy for UX part, virtual design, user-based study, user research. So all this term actually involve like all the UX process. There's different kind of type of role in the UX industry, right? UI designer means like, you are designing for a single visual element, can be a button, can be a design system. We always call UI designer like a virtual designer because, you basically focus on all the virtual stuff. UX designer is focused on designing the user experience, right? Design the, create a prototype, design different kind of, screen for products. Product designer means like you not only will be designing a UI UX part, but also you will be involved a lot of product strategy, product direction discussion, even some product management too. You have to know how to work with product partners, engineer partners, or other stakeholders. UX research focus on mainly research, right? If you have questions or pain point you're trying to solve, UX research will be helping you to conduct those, study, and they will be giving you the feedback and provide all the potential solution to you. UX copywriter is the job that focuses on the content, right? We also call UX copywriter as a content designer. So they're mainly designing the content experience, like you can think about a paragraph or a content in the app. So to make sure user can comprehend, the problems easily and comprehends all the user interface and match to the potential solution you design. Interaction designer is basically, you are not designing UI, you're not only designing UI, but also you have to design some interaction works, like using Adobe Photoshop, Adobe After Effects, design all the interaction to present to stakeholders. So this actually requires you have some animation skill. You have to know how to animate the prototype and then to present to the your stakeholder. UX developer means kind of like think about UX is like you have to know how to solve a UX problem, but also you have to know how to code the problems. So you design the solution, but also you can be able to code. Most likely, we think UX developer more like a front end developer. So next, I want to talk about design tool. So there's a lot of design tool in the industry right now. So Figma, Adobe XD, Sketch. Actually, Figma is kind of part of Adobe. So not really sure how the strategy is going to work for this two product, but most likely all the designer, UX designer, now they use Figma as the main design tool. But just want to show you here, there's other two like Innovation, Sketch. Those other two some company may use create a prototype or interaction design. Of course, the Illustrator and the Photoshop is also will be using a lot to make high fidelity design. Let's talk about Figma, right? Why Figma? So basically, the reason all the industry use Figma first is there's no installation required. Basically, if you have a prototype you want to send to a product manager or engineer, you don't actually need to download the software. They can actually open the when they have a link, they can just open it through the Chrome browser. platform independent. So actually the company mainly focus on, putting the experience into the Figma to make sure every designer, every researcher, or engineer have a better experience use use this product. So they keep updated for every single month. So this is actually create a consistent user experience. So that's why it's become industry standards. Also, the basic Figma is free, and the regular update all the features, and they have really great community. If you're interested in learning UI, UX, or want to be a UX developer, feel free to check their community. They have really good, design, the designer in there to help you to get started UX. So yeah, moving on, I want to talk a little bit about the Figma, talk a little bit about like the structure of Figma, how you get to run, with the Figma. So first, if you want to design, no matter the website, no matter it's a mobile web, you all can use Figma, right? Figma is not just designing for a single part of the products. It can be designed for everything. Even your resume can be designed in Figma. So if you know a little bit about Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrators, Figma actually is easy compared to those two. Basically, there's four main elements you need to focus on. One is the toolbar. Second is the left sidebar, mainly just focus on the panel, the layers. The main panel is the canvas. You actually put in your frame to design a frame, design a prototype. And right sidebar is all the way you can actually control all the elements, test from colors, etc. So when you have when you want to create the canvas, you can actually just add a new file, and if you want to hide the bar, you can actually click a Control Command and Dash, so it will be all all gone. The left sidebar, as I mentioned, is more focused on layers and access panel. So think about like when you're designing a website, you may not only have virtual elements, you probably have also other elements you're trying to put in the board. So on the left side panel, you can actually see what is the elements, what does the elements looks like. It can be like a box, it can be a text. So you can actually adjust the layers based on what you need. The exit panel is more focused on the components. So if you want to reuse elements, you actually can make a component. So next time, if you want to change the color, you want to change the layers, or change the shape for the components, you can easily just adjust the mother of the components. So everything else will be changed. The rest of our is the design panel. Basically, is if basically like a Word, PowerPoint is all similar, so you can change the color, change the shape, adding stroke, different kind of effect, and create a prototype. Is all on the right side of the panel. On the right side, you also, as I mentioned, you can create a prototype. So there's different way you can do it. You can click the prototype, or you can actually, I think you can do like quick Command P. I think that's also the shortcut for create a prototype. And there's different way you can do. You can link the board, or you can create a smart anime if you want to make more complicated prototype. The toolbar is on the top of the panel. So basically, it's all the tool you'll be using, like the pen tool, square tool. So people use different tool to create different shapes. The selection tool is like what I show in here is basically you select different layers, and if sometimes you want to put one layer in top of layers, so that's part you want to use the selection tool to drag to arrange the layers you want. You can also group multiple layers together. So for example, if I want to make a button, if I want to make a logo, so I have a different kind of layers. I have a different kind of elements. I want to make one single element. I just need to, put a Command G or Control G is all gonna group together. You can also adjust the layers horizontally and vertically. You just hit the shift and remove the arrow. It will be arranged perfect for you, pixel by pixel. So that's something like if you have a design rule or design guidelines, you will see, okay, this is like 32 or 48 pixel. So you want to move the really precise. So you want to click the control and the left or right button to move. You can also duplicate the layers. You can make as many as you want. You just use selection tool and all select together and then click Control G or just drag, click a shape and drag so you can copy and paste different kind of elements layer you want. You can also measure and align the element based on what you need. So you can just like click Alt option. So and you can actually align different kind of element perfectly, horizontally or vertically. So scaling, rotating, and flipping. This is also you can use a shift, right? If you use Mac, is the command. So if you want scaling, you can just use shift. It's gonna be resize perfectly for you. So if you don't want the shape to change, it will be you need to click the shape and then you scale. You can scale big, you can scale small based on what you need. Also, you can do a flip. Click a shift plus H or V. It will be flip the elements to you. So basic selection is the main tool we use making UI, making a website, making a prototype. So all this shortcut is basically you click a command or shift to do all the changes. Next is the frame test and shape. So this is basically easy, right? The frame is just like the board, right? There's different kind of frame. The time, it can be a phone's frame, tablet frame, desktop frame. So you can choose different frame based on what you need. If you want to design a website, definitely choose the website frame. If you want to design mobile experience, definitely choose the different kind of phone frame you need, like iPhone, Android. So different way you can make a frame. You can click basically you can just drag a square, hold a shape, it will become a frame. Or you can select the panel, the web panel to choose a different frame on the presetting frame actually. Frame can be nested. Basically, if you want to if you have different kind of frame, you want to add this frame together, you can actually put in one frame in another big frame. So it is always help. I would say I use a lot when I'm designing a big projects. So I have a lot of different kind of frame. If I want to present to a product manager, I probably want to group all together so make people easier to read and easy to understand, okay, what is the prototype about and what is the user flow about. Text is basically just like the Word or PowerPoint. You'll be changing the text based on what you need or based on design system you have. You also can change different kind of size, spacing, text box, alignment. This is exactly same like the Word and the Microsoft PowerPoint, how you actually make a slide. So okay, and the next is the shape, right? There's the shape tool is actually really complicated. There's a different kind of shape tool. There you can use a lot of presetting to make a different type of shape tool. So like in here, you can actually add different kind of effect, different kind of blur, job shadows. You also can add an image if you, for example, if you want to create avatar. So you can actually drop a picture in the frame, so it will be showing you an avatar. So there's also different kind of shape. There's smart shape. You can make the shape based on what you need. For example, if I want to create a review page, so I need to make sure there's a star. So I probably just use a shape tool to quickly make a star based on what I need. So the shape tool is actually really interesting. I think this is kind of unique, cool things that Figma did. So it's really easy to adjust based on what actually the virtual element you need. Okay, any questions before we move into the next step? Or if you have any question, feel free just put in the chat, so I will answer them later. Moving on is about a common design mistakes. So I think this is a lot of people actually make those kind of mistakes when they design a prototype or design a UI. Just want to get the UI quickly, so they always ignore those mistakes. But this makes it actually really important to understand. First is unnecessary inconsistent UI elements. I actually saw a lot of people designing an interface now focus on to make a consistent design. For example, they found that this element, this button from this website, that button from that website. So when designing a panel or designing a frame, you want to make sure all the element is consistent, all the color, all the text is the same. So that's the reason we want to keep a consistent user experience and experience, and also making developers work more easy, because they may questions why you have a different kind of front and different kind of typeface in one single panel. So the solution is definitely, first, I would suggest you create a color palette kind of style guide to get a designer, get a developer to know, like, okay, this is the text, this is the button, or this is the link, a header we'll be using, and also apply the different kind of font style into a title paragraph, so it can be easy to view and see, and also make sure all the shape is consistent. If you use the round shape, make sure you are using the round shape across all your design, across all the experience you are designing for. And the reason why I say that, because consistent design is really important when you want to designing a good user experience and make user feel like they're actually using one single app. Sometimes user may feel like, okay, why these two pages look so different? One page use this font, another page use another font. So this is kind of create inconsistent experience, can is not really fit the goal for products, and also can create a lot of like different accessibility issues. The next is like a lack of the text hierarchy. You can see example on the right. Basically, for the user experience, we want to make sure we want to create a good hierarchy to indicate what is the main content or the main elements in a design panel. So you want to use a different kind of front face, different kind of the side of the front to represent to create those kind of hierarchy, to showing to create a better user interface to the user. So this is make user actually understand, okay, this is the main elements I need to focus on, this is the title, and this is the content. So the way you can use it, you use the sets tool, right? Use the way you use the tool to actually create different kind of way colors to distinguish the header, subheader, so make people understand, okay, the title is the title, the elements, the second elements, so the second elements is belong to like different kind of way to interact the products. So I think this is a lot of people actually make those mistakes, just use the one single size of the typeface. But when you're designing a website, designing a UI, trying to use different kind of size of way to you may get a different kind of feeling for products. Is the way why we say that, because all the text and effects is actually grab a lot of attention to user when user actually see your screen. So, and also is affect how user perceive information on display on the screen, and how they actually understand the screen, or understand your products you're trying to design. Next is the confusing iconography. So that's basically just like the different kind of elements you choose is not consistency. It's kind of part of the consistent experience. If you want to have elements then design for this user interface, but also you have different kind of user interface that will be using the same elements. Make sure you use the same kind of elements. Ensure the icon is understandable, ensure the icon style is understandable, and make sure you're maintain a style consistency, so user may not be feel like this is their experience a different kind of app or different products. This is especially important when you're trying to design experience for both web and mobile. I saw a lot of experience, a lot of designer, a lot of the products, they actually not having the consistent elements. So this is make user feel like they're experiencing different kind of products. I think this is really important, right? You choose a clear and the symbol. that's why what I say is make sure if you want to designing great products, you want to create a style guide design system so you can get a designer or get a developer or your team member to use the elements all consistent together. And finally, some tips for you all, especially when you're designing a products, engineering these products. Try using a grill. A lot of people actually just designing through Figma and then export the Figma to to the website to the developer, but ignore thinking about how this grill system actually works. So if you're designing the elements, make sure the elements is consistent, make sure the frame is consistent, and all the pixel is perfect. So that's why you will be making design more efficient, and also you can translate the design in a different kind of size of screen. This what I mentioned. If you want to design mobile products, but also if you want to design a web product, but web products, but also you have to think about the mobile experience. Having a grid will be helping you to resize the elements more easily. Number two is create a design system. So this is actually, I know a lot of works, but I think it's really important, especially you work with the teams. If you want to create a design system, you need to make sure you include all the colors front and also the rule to get your team to know how to use the text, how to use the colors. So this also, the way you can make your design, make your work more efficient. So you don't actually need to come back to fix the problems after you have a products. This save you a lot of time and make the collaboration more easily. Number three is just keep your accessibility in mind. A lot of people actually ignore this part. So if you want to design, web products, make sure you check accessibility, check the text, check the font, make sure it's easy to read, make sure the elements and all the UI have a really good contract. So this will help user easily to use your products in different kind of way, I would say. That's pretty much all about the UI UX workshop. Feel free to ask any questions. And also available like ADP list. This is also a mentorship website. It's completely for free. If you have any questions regarding the US UI or anything, if you want to interesting to get into UX or have any question regarding the design, feel free to reach out. Yeah, I'm basically always available. Yeah. Thank you all very much. Yeah.
Alrighty, and thank you. We appreciate you coming out here to host this event for everyone. Would it be okay if we posted this on our YouTube just for people who might have missed the workshop?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, no problem.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you very much. Have a nice rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you, Brad. Bye.
Mhm.